After several missed opportunities yesterday, the Padres bats produced 4 runs, all with 2 outs in the 8th, to take the series from Atlanta. The Royals have been recognized as having the best farm system. Now, the fruit is showing up in the major leagues. Matt Latos threw a career-high 120 pitches in his last start at Fenway. He makes another interleague start tonight. Welcome to Petco Park for what is the last home interleague series of the season. It's game 1 of a 3-game set between the American League Central's Kansas City Royals and the San Diego Padres. We welcome you in. Mark Neely with the Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn. Tony, I think we're both excited to see a very young Royals team, a lot of good prospects. They play good defense, great bullpen. If there's a weak link for the Royals, it's really been their starting rotation.
Yeah, right now the starters just really are struggling a little bit with Kansas City. You see highest ERA among the starters in Major League Baseball, and they're second. The opponents are hitting .290. And they've given up 5 or more runs 25 times this year, and that's tied for second in the major leagues. And so the ship is headed in the right direction. If you're a Kansas City Royals fan, the last thing to go in that direction is starting pitching, which I'm sure as the season goes on is going to get better. But, right now that's, to me, is their Achilles heel. Their starting pitching hasn't been as good as they'd like it to be. And, until they get it going in that direction, it's going to be a little bit harder to turn things around.
So the Padres see the Royals, a team they haven't seen in quite a few years, but they'll see a familiar face on the mound for Kansas City. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup. It is former Colorado Rocky Jeff Francis, who has struggled on the road this season, going 1-4 with an ERA just under 7 away from Kauffman Stadium. And Matt Latos is 3-1 in 5 career interleague starts. The pitching matchup is brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. It is the first meeting between the Royals and Padres in nearly 7 years. And the first pitch is straight ahead. San Diego tonight, another gorgeous day and evening here at Petco Park. As the Padres and Royals in game 1 of this 3-game series. And the Padres take the field. Padres at 34-45. The Royals 33-45. As they enter play, let's take a look at the Kansas City lineup, brought to you by the Prize Patrol, presented by Jerome's Furniture. Text winning to 269-411 to enter. Cabrera, Melky Cabrera, the former Yankee, leading off. Then Chris Getz, rookie Eric Hosmer, and Alex Gordon in the cleanup spot has really found a home in left field. He enters this game with a 13-game hitting streak. Vancour, Moustakas, Brian Pena, Alcides Escobar, and Jeff Francis round up the lineup for Ned Yost, Kansas City Royals. Padres starting pitching profiles brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in today for an attractive lease or purchase offer, and it's Matt Latos' turn on the hill.
You see the numbers, 4-8, 4.22 ERA, making his 15th start of the season. First one against the Royals. And he's thrown the ball a whole lot better here lately. And it's going to be interesting to see how his power style matches up with this young Kansas City offensive group.
There's the defense behind Latos tonight. Interesting, both teams' outfields very good as far as outfield assists. Ludwig leading the National League with 8. Mabins in center. Kristen Orfia has 5 outfield assists. We'll get to the Royals side of the next half inning, but they're impressive as well. It's Headley and Guzman at the corners, Bartlett and Hudson up the middle. And Rob Johnson is catching tonight. No Nick Hundley, who's out with a bad right elbow. He had a cortisone shot today and an MRI, and it looks like Hundley probably won't play again until Friday, but that's the word as of now. So Johnson gets the start, and they have Guzman over at first tonight. With the lefty Jeff Francis on the mound for the Royals. You have Rizzo, Venable, and Phillips all on the bench for the Padres. And Ned Yost, the Royals manager, former Milwaukee Brewers skipper. Melky Cabrera leading off. First pitch is high, and we are underway from Petco Park. Right at 70 degrees and clear skies at game time. Cabrera at 277. Switch hitter. A better average from this side of the plate, hitting 290 left-handed, 248 right-handed.
Melky's one of those veteran guys in this lineup that's just had a good year up to this point. He's done a nice job.
Sends it down the left field side, slicing foul. You mentioned, Tony, that he's a veteran, and he is. He now has over 5 years of Major League service time, but he's still just 26 years old.
Yeah. Well, I said veteran, meaning that, yeah, he had some Major League time already. In this lineup, there's some names that you know. Cabrera used to be with the Yankees, and Frank Hoare used to be with the Braves and Mets. But for the most part, this is a lot of homegrown young talent.
And strike 3 call from Latos, and he gets Cabrera looking, and that's the way this one begins.
Nice two-seam fastball by Matt Latos. See him straighten up. Cabrera thinks that ball's going to be inside, and it's too late to pull the trigger.
One out for the left-handed hitting second baseman Chris Getz. Getz comes in with the 262 average, but has hit well lately. 9 for his last 10. Hits in 9 of his last 10 games. Hitting 378 in that span. Getz sends it in the air to left center field. Maben right there. Trots a few steps in and to his right. 2 outs in the Royals first inning. And that's going to bring up one of the 2 key players in the Royal lineup tonight that are rookies this year. Here is Eric Hosmer, the first baseman, who was called up on May 6th. And we talked about, and you've probably heard about, the Kansas City farm system ranked as the best in the majors for quite a few years. This is another product of that system. Hosmer and Moustakas, who we'll see later.
And I'm a fan. I've been watching on TV. I haven't seen these guys in person, but I've been watching on TV. And he's a guy that all the scouts talk about. Power to all fields, very athletic. And when a young player comes up to the big leagues, especially being as young as he is, you're trying to figure out, okay, can the things that I normally do, can they work?
And it's a 3-0 count on Hosmer.
And that last pitch is just a good test. 2-0, he's ahead in the count. A lot of young hitters looking for a fastball. And that wasn't what he wanted, and he took it, and now he's ahead 3-0.
And a 4-pitch walk to Eric Hosmer. So Latos, who needed 7 pitches to retire the first 2 hitters of the game, throws 4 wide ones to Hosmer, and it's going to bring up the guy that in many ways has been carrying that Royals offense this year, Alex Gordon. An impressive on-base percentage of .362. He comes in sporting a 13-game hitting streak. Soft toss to first. The 13-game streak Gordon currently has is not his longest of the year. He, right at the beginning of the season, got hot and had a career-high 19-game hitting streak from April 3rd to April 26th, which in 19 games turned out to be the 8th longest in Royals history.
He's another one of these young guys who I think is kind of coming into his own. He kind of struggled his first couple of years in Kansas City, and then he got hurt, and then they decided to make him a left fielder.
Which seems to have been the best thing for him.
Yeah, and just looking at his numbers this year, 293. Very respectable. 44 runs scored, 90 hits already. So
well, Latos right now cannot find the zone. That's 6 straight that he has missed with. Rob Johnson out to talk with his big right-hander.
It's weird sometimes how that works out. He rolls through the first 2 guys, and now all of a sudden can't find the strike zone.
And that's down low, 3-0. So a 4-pitch walk to Hosmer here with 2 outs. Now he's 3-0 on Alex Gordon. Gordon taking all the way, and a close pitch, but doesn't go Latos' way. And back-to-back 4-pitch walks will bring Darren Balsley out of the dugout here in the top of the first. What can Darren Balsley say at this point?
Just to relax and trust your stuff and get in the zone, get back into that rhythm. But again, it just kind of disappeared quickly. Got the first 2 guys out, no problems, and then all of a sudden 8 straight balls.
So it's 2 on, 2 outs for the right fielder, Jeff Francoeur. First pitch breaking ball is a strike on the high outside corner. It went to the slider.
Like Francoeur had a little smile on his face. Like, you gotta be kidding me. After 8 straight balls, you start me out with a breaking ball.
Right back to it. So perhaps Darren Balsley's conversation was, all right, if the fastball's not located, you got to find something that you can throw for a strike.
Well, the last one, he kind of hung in the middle of the plate, so he's got to make a better pitch with that breaking ball. Francoeur had a good swing at that ball. It's right in the middle of the plate.
That was dead center, wasn't it? 0-2 count on the Kansas City right fielder. There's that fastball at 95 that was elevated, and it fouled on the right field side into Northview out of room. These teams meeting for the first time since 2004. They played here at Petco in the ballpark's first season. The Padres swept that 3-game series July 2nd to July 4th. Only other interleague series between these two was back in June 2002 in Kansas City, and the Royals won 2 of 3. Runners take off, swing and a miss, and the strikeout of Francoeur ends the inning. So a couple of 2-out walks, but the Royals strand both, and the Padres are coming up in the bottom half. Out. Latos walked 2 with 2 outs in the top of the inning, but able to escape. And the Padre first, leading off, right fielder Chris Denorfia. And lefty Jeff Francis with strike 1 on the outside corner. It's a different uniform, but the Padres are very familiar with Jeff Francis.
Should be. Former Colorado Rocky.
Strike. The outside corner on a changeup. 1-2.
Francis is not going to overpower you as a hitter. He's going to change speeds and mix it up.
On the right field side foul. A guy who had some decent velocity earlier in his career, but after the left shoulder surgery in 2009, he missed the entire season that year. It's been a bit of a long road for Jeff Francis. Towards center field, and Cabrera, who is cheating way towards right center, comes in to make the catch. There's the Padre lineup tonight, brought to you by Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the free alignment. The Northview is followed by Bartlett, Headley, Ludwig hitting cleanup, then Guzman at first with Maben, Orlando Hudson with 1 career home run against Francis, Johnson catching, and then Latos. Former Royal Bud Black, who won a World Series with Kansas City in 1985. Harlan at 253 was a key component in the 4-run rally in the 8th yesterday.
Yeah. And he might have gotten the biggest hit of that inning, because after his hit, that tied the game. So guys could kind of relax a little bit, knowing that, you know, if they made an out in that situation, that, you know, the game was tied. And he got a little luck, too, because it went off Victor's glove and slowed it down enough for everybody to pick up 90 feet.
It's interesting that mentality, because at 86, Mookie Wilson talks about the ball between Buckner's legs. And he always says, hey, the pressure was off me because there was the wild pitch prior to that. The game was already tied.
Right.
So that echoes what you were talking about.
It absolutely is a whole lot easier hitting after the game is tied, because you know that even if you make an out in that situation, you didn't really let your teammates down, in the sense that
that's to the alley in right center field, but Francoeur cuts across to make the catch. Padres facing an old nemesis tonight, the former Rocky Jeff Francis.
You see the numbers, 3 and 8, 1.76 ERA, and I'm talking to Royals people. They say he's pitched much better than that and could easily be 8 and 3, but with the loss of velocity now, he's got to pitch to contact, and you see 118 hits in 98 innings. So opponents are going to put the ball in play off of him, and you know, the key for him is keeping the ball down and working ahead and changing speeds and throwing the ball in the strike zone.
Outside to Headley. Jeff Francis, now 30 years old. He's from Vancouver. And of course, the Rocky run, which came at the expense of the Padres in 07. Jeff Francis, key component when he won 17 games that year, and was their #1 starter in all of the postseason series.
Yeah, before he hurt his arm, he still wasn't a guy that threw in the, you know, the low 90s. He was a guy that, you know, messed around 87 to 90 in that area, changed speeds, little cutter, little slider.
Francis's curveball hit foul by Headley. Headley hitting well against left-handers this year. .359, third best average in the National League against lefties. And guess what? Drops it into right center field, and Cabrera will cut it off on the track in front of the 400-foot sign. But Headley into second with a 2-out double, his 22nd two-base hit of the year. Take a look at the Kansas City defense, brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. I mentioned the outfield assist on the Padres side. Gordon in left has a major league leading 12 outfield assists. Cabrera has 8 and Francoeur 9.
Yeah, well, Francoeur already has a reputation already. So balls to right field, you better get a great jump, because he's a guy that can throw you out. And as you saw the picture, Alex Gordon, he's kind of getting accustomed to left field too. He's leading in both leagues in assists.
Ludwig, deep left. Gordon can just watch this one sail out of here. Well, Ryan Ludwig, a notorious first pitch swinger, hits that one out. His team leading 10th of the season. It is 2-0 San Diego.
Right, Mark, he didn't waste any time. He got the pitch he was looking for, drove it out to left field. Looked like a breaking ball that he was trying to get in on him and didn't get it in enough. Ludwig put a short stroke on that and hit it out.
Yeah, right. Sometimes we'll chase a first pitch out of the zone. That one was square in the zone. It was a strike to Jesus Guzman. RBIs 48 and 49 for Ludwig. On the ground foul past third. Gonna have to flip through the scorebook. It's been a while since the Padres have put up an early run. And in this case, 2.
It's got to feel good. I mean, anytime you can put runs on the board early, and especially these kind of runs, because it was with 2 out. Headley goes the other way with a double. Ludwig hits the first pitch he sees out of the park. Those are the easy runs. Those don't happen as often here.
Breaking ball fouled off right side. Bring your glove and your scorebook to the ballpark. Let's see how he does the home run there. As long as whoever does it can read it themselves, that's the only important thing.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. See on Headley, he put a line in the right center field where the ball went.
Going down after it, Guzman pops it up short right. Long run. Francoeur nearly overran it. But the Padres get 2 in the first. Ludwig yanking the first pitch he sees of the night out to left. And after an inning, Padres 2, Royals nothing. Top of the second on a Ryan Ludwig 2-run home run. By the way, it's the first Padre first inning run or runs since Will Venable led off the game at Fenway with a home run the last game of that series. But Ludwig has hit his 10th of the year for the early lead. This is Mike Moustakas. He was called up recently, June 10th. But a Southern California native from the LA area, went to Chatsworth High School. He was the second overall pick in 2007, second overall pick of the first round, and he sends it to left center. Maben went back now, comes in, and it drops in front of he and Ludwig. So Moustakas singles to begin the second. Well, just prior to the game, we had an interesting first pitch ceremony from the crew of Ka, who plays at Cirque du Soleil at the MGM Grand in Vegas. Watch this. Used to do that in right field every once in a while. That's insane.
I've never seen that.
Ka is performers like that individual that specialize in Chinese and Brazilian martial arts. That was impressive. I don't know if you saw John Wall, the NBA player, tried to throw out a first pitch last week, and he spiked it about 15 feet in front of the mound, and that gentleman we just saw seemed a lot more athletic than the guy who plays in the NBA.
Yeah.
Royals catcher Brian Pena takes a strike on the inner half.
Now, I threw out the first pitch at Dodger Stadium on Father's Day to my son, and I don't care how many times you've done it, it's still nerve-wracking. So I know guys that have never thrown a baseball before or hadn't thrown one in a long time, I know you get a little nervous about it, but John Wall bounced that thing not even halfway.
Yeah.
Not even halfway. And it would have been behind the left-handed hitter, left-handed hitter's batter's box.
I know you didn't wear a Dodger jersey for that.
No.
Did they ask you?
No, they didn't.
They knew better.
No, I wasn't.
It's outside to Brian Pena. 2 balls and a strike. I remember a couple of Father's Day ago, though you threw out here, there was quite a few different fathers.
Yeah.
And you wore your son's number.
Yeah.
Where Anthony's 18. Right field. Denorfia still going back and makes the catch just in front of the warning track.
Nice
Ryan
play.
Pena. That ball just kept going.
It did. A nice play by Denorfia. He put his head down and had to go and get this ball. Pena hit it pretty good. You see he got his back towards home plate, but he's going to run back there and get behind this ball and make the play.
There's a shortstop, Alcides Escobar. He has upped his average to 252. He's hit safely in 14 of his last 18, hitting over 400 in that span. This is a guy who's always had a great glove. And quite frankly, if he can hit 250, he deserves a spot on a big league roster with his defense at short.
He came up with the Milwaukee Brewers. Kansas City acquired him in the Zach Greinke trade. So he'd been a National Leaguer his whole career until getting traded over here to Kansas City, and now he's starting again. Another young player who is trying to figure it out, is getting to that point where it's starting to make a little sense for him. And you're right, he's had the hot hand here lately and got his average up to 252.
Moustakis is running, and Escobar fouls it away right side. Hit and run?
I think this is a straight steal, and he just got a good jump, just wasn't sure.
Yeah, he stopped. Obviously, it was a straight steal.
I think it was, he had a pretty good jump. And that's the thing with these young guys. That's what they're going to do.
I didn't notice the first time he stopped there. Draws a throw.
We touched on it early. Moustakis was a California high school kid that everybody in the state recruited, wanted to get, but people knew he was going to sign.
He was going to go to USC if he didn't sign.
USC. And got taken second pick in the draft, I think, and signed with the Royals. And that wasn't that long ago. Here he is in the big league. So
yeah, 2007. Yep. He was the second overall pick in the first round. He played in the Futures game last year in Anaheim. That's to right field. Right there is Denorfia. 2 outs. Jeff Francis hasn't had an opportunity to bat this season. And of course, handled the stick frequently as a member of the Rockies.
Yeah, unlike a lot of American League teams, the pitcher, when he has to hit, a lot of times doesn't have a whole lot of at-bats, if any. At least Francis has a few.
Back to first. Moustakis in safely as Rob Johnson got a hook up there with Guzman.
Johnson just a little shift with his knees and puts a whole lot on that throw, and Moustakis gets back to first.
Got to throw around the hitter, the left-handed hitter. Moustakis has yet to attempt a stolen base in the big leagues. Lato's curveball down low. I mentioned Moustakis at Chatsworth High School. He set a state high school record, California state high school record, with 54 career home runs. Slow roller right side, and Latos gets over to cover. Leadoff base hit by Moustakis. He is stranded, and the Royals have now left 3. Francisco Giants Friday, July 15th at 7:05. You can cheer on your Padres with a whiteout rally towel presented by TaylorMade Golf. And stay after the game for a spectacular Padres postgame fireworks show presented by Northgate Gonzalez Market. You can get your tickets today online at Padres.com. Francis back to the mound for the home half of the second. 2-0 San Diego on a Ryan Ludwig home run. Maben, Hudson, and Johnson, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for San Diego. Maben at 257. And he shows bunt and takes outside. One of Jeff Francis' very first starts after he came up to the big leagues late in the 2004 season was here at Petco Park. It was early September of that season. That's left side. The shortstop Escobar charges and throws him out. It's the speedy Maben. Well, in that start, Francis really shut down the Padres, and a couple of things happened. Number one, Padre hitters were struggling to see Francis due to that arm angle. The hitter's backdrop was different the first year here at Petco Park than it currently is.
Yep.
You saw Francis tie up a lot of Padre hitters. Those bushes you see, one on each side, the hedges were not there, and those were added. The hitter's backdrop was actually extended a bit as well.
Yep.
So we can thank Jeff Francis probably for.
Yeah, you can thank, and all the hitters around Major League Baseball can thank Jeff Francis because they extended the batter's eye, made it a little bit longer and wider, and they put those two hedges out there on both sides so that when you face that guy who was all the way over on the rubber, left-hander, right-hander, if they were a three-quarter guy, you could still pick up the baseball.
Well, that particular day, Francis, they just couldn't pick the ball up out of the hand because the backdrop did not extend that far on the right field side.
And it was funny because
Hudson to deep center field. Cabrera back, leaping and makes the catch. Hudson making a bid for his second of the year. Hit that one well, but Cabrera right up against the wall to make the out for out number 2 here in the second. Boy, this ball really carried as well.
Yeah, nice play. See, Hudson puts a good swing on it. Cabrera does what a good outfielder should do. He got to the wall and gave himself a chance. He got up in the air before he got too far or too close to the wall where he might jam his shoulder into it. He gives himself a little room and is able to make the play.
Now looking at all those different views, not quite sure if that ball would have gone out. It might have had he not caught it. It at least would have been right off the top of the fence or right at the top of the padding.
Yep.
Rob Johnson, the Padres catcher, takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Back to Jeff Francis. There was some thought that Randy Johnson might be that guy. That guy, a left-handed pitcher, 6'11", kind of a slinger that might be hard to pick up the baseball. But it turned out it was Jeff Francis was that guy, and he's not quite working all the way over on the first base side of the rubber like he did when he was pitching with the Rockies. But
runs inside to Johnson. Well, here's the release point in that particular game.
He's all the way over on the first base side of the rubber, and if you look at where his release point was then and where it is now, he's more over the top now.
Left side, and Moustakas with the pickup. Padres go in order in the second. Top of the order will come up for Kansas City after 2-0 Padres. July 17th and 105, and it's Military Appreciation Day with military T-shirts for kids presented by Northrop Grumman. Kids 14 and younger will take home a new Padre T-shirt and can run the bases after the game. Don't wait. Visit Padres.com for your tickets. He toasts through 2, has allowed 1 hit. He's walked a couple and struck out a couple, and will face the top of the order for the Royals in the 3rd. O'Dog nearly went yard in the last inning. Melky Cabrera began the game with a strikeout, went down looking. First pitch strike for Matt. Just off that outside corner. Low to Cabrera. A former Yankee who spent last year with Atlanta. Breaks his bat, but sends the baseball at the middle for a leadoff hit. That one had a little different sound for a broken bat.
It sounded like he got it at the end, towards the end, but I don't think so. That thing just split in half. Looked like he, let's take a look. Like he hit that, looked like it hit it right on the barrel right there and it just snapped.
That's how it sounded, and it turns into a leadoff hit. Second baseman Chris Getz takes a strike. Good numbers for Getz in his last 7. He fly to center his first time up tonight. Headley comes in at 3rd, and a fastball here inside.
Two-seamer looked like a pretty good pitch.
Diving back goes Cabrera. Padres leading 2-0 on a Ryan Ludwig 2-run homer in the first. There goes Cabrera, and the perfect hit and run into left center. Cabrera will go to 3rd. Getz rolled it right through the unoccupied shortstop spot with Bartlett covering, and it's 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Well, you described that exactly right. That's a perfect hit and run. Took a pretty good pitch, a breaking ball, stayed back, and just inside out the other way. Bartlett going to cover, and he hits it right in the space where Bartlett had just vacated, and Melky Cabrera just keeps on going, goes on to 3rd base. So a nice job of execution there by Kansas City, and now they have 1st and 3rd.
For Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. And a high drive left center field. Ludwig retreating, and right at the edge of the track makes the catch. Cabrera will tag and score. Getz returns to 1st. Hosmer, who walked on 4 straight pitches in the first inning, saw a pitch he could elevate there, and on the first delivery to him this time up, a sac fly to left.
I think you like about it if you're Kansas City. He didn't try to pull that ball. He went right with it. Trying to be aggressive. Hits the ball a long way the other way, and Ludwig's able to run it down, but puts the Royals on the board, and they're right back in it.
26th RBI for Hosmer, and here's the left fielder Alex Gordon, who also walked in the first inning. First pitch curves. Strike 1. Soft toss to first. Gets as it does in steals, and he's been caught 4 times. There goes Getz. Pulled foul.
Looks like a changeup. Gordon out in front of it.
It's running. Royals being aggressive again.
Well, this is an aggressive young team. So these guys, they got to figure out what they can do at this level, things that they need to be successful at. And already in this game, they've been aggressive a couple of times.
And the Padres thinking they're going to sniff something out, but the pitch out, nothing doing. There he goes. And another foul. Rarely do you see two consecutive pitch outs, so they just started the runner again.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's a green light kind of situation with Getz over there. He feels like if he can get a jump, he can go ahead and go. Gordon's got 2 strikes on him, so he's really not worried about the runner. He's just trying to put the ball in play.
And he does. A liner right at Hudson. So Gordon, the second out. The first out coming on the Hosmer sac fly. And that got us thinking. Sacrifice fly the last time these teams played here in the series in 04. Khalil Green, sac fly to right. That's Matt Stairs, and his throw hits the first baseman, Ken Harvey, in the back. That was July 3rd of 2004.
Poor Ken Harvey.
Did you ever come close to hitting anybody thrown out of right field?
I don't think so.
I mean, unintentionally. Obviously, you hit cutoff men, but
I can remember hitting base runners going into third, or trying to go into second, but
well, there goes Getz, and it's pop foul back and out of play. Getz is determined to swipe second here.
Yeah, Orlando Hudson saying, "Hey man, you all right?"
Getting his wind sprints in.
Getting his sprints in. You see him working up a little bit of a lather over there at first base. Hadn't stopped him. He's feeling like if he can get a jump, he's going to go.
Not running this time, and another foul off the bat of Francoeur. Longtime Brave, which was his hometown team, Jeff Francoeur, but last year opened the season as the Mets' everyday right fielder. Then was traded to the Rangers late August to last year. Made a couple of starts in the World Series for Texas. Signed by the Royals in the offseason as a free agent. Backstanding Getz in a somewhat close play. Already about to reach 50 pitches. Lito's threw a career-high 120 pitches in his last start at Boston. Guess what? Getz is running, and it's towards left field, sinking, but it stays up long enough for Ludwig to make the catch. Royals do get a run on the Hosmer sac fly at the midpoint of the third. It's 2-1 Padres. by Lolita's at the Park, where you can enjoy fresh Mexican food and happy hours 7 days a week. And by Permadontics, Southern California's premier dental implant center. Well, we may not take the bridge to Coronado tonight, but over here at Petco Park, Royals and Padres, 2-1 San Diego into the bottom of the third. 9-1-2 for San Diego, with Latos leading off. Fairly light night in the big leagues. Only 5 other games. That's fair. Past third. Latos with just his second hit of the season. The other was a home run. This will also be an extra base hit. A double.
Just getting ready to say, this is, for Matt Latos, Jeff Francis is more pitcher hitting speed, and he's not a guy that's overpowering. You're going to get something in the zone if you just stay patient and wait. And there he got a fastball out on the plate, and he just hooked it down the line. Get that ball out in front and get it by Moustakas over there at third base. Nice little ricochet for a double.
The leadoff double for the pitcher, Latos. Norfia takes a strike. Chris fly to center his first time. You see the numbers with runners in scoring position. 10 of his 15 RBIs in this situation.
Yeah, he's taking a shot at right field right there, trying to get Latos over to third base. Francis thought the same thing, tried to cut fastball inside.
Looks like a very young Mark Grant.
It looks like he's having some fun tonight.
To pitch to Denorfia. Did he go? Appeal down to first base umpire Jerry Meals, and he did not go. Leadoff double by Latos. His other hit was a home run. That was made third off the Pirates' Jeff Karstens. Right side, Latos heading for third, and Hosmer gave it a long look, and as a result, that turns the play quite a bit closer at first. 3 unassisted on Denorfia, but Latos does advance. Padres and Espanol is presented by the Ascot Shop, serving San Diego with fine men's fashion for over 60 years. Visit them in La Jolla or at ascotshop.com.
Nice job by Denorfia getting it done. Push the ball to the right side. And as we talked about, don't get a lot of credit in the scorebook, but his teammates were all up to shake his hand as he came back to the dugout.
Inside to Bartlett. I mentioned there are 5 other games going on in the big leagues. The Dodgers are crushing the Twins 15-0 in the 9th inning. Dodgers have 22 hits, and Anthony Gwynn has 4 of those hits tonight.
Good for Junior.
Here's the 2-0.
Defensively here, Kansas City's kind of playing this halfway. They know Latos is at third base. The pitcher's running, so they're not all the way in. In on the corners, more like 3/4 of the way at short and second.
Strike on the outer half to Jason. 3-1. Latos led off the inning with a double. He is at third with 1 out, and a 3-1 count on Bartlett. Each team now with 3 hits. Now the right field side foul.
As a hitter in this situation, you saw Bartlett's eyes kind of shifting around, checking to see where the infielders were. this situation, you know you got the pitcher at third base. And really, all three outfielders throw extremely well. So you're going to have to hit a ball pretty good. Get it through the infield or deep in the outfield.
Francis up to 44 pitches. And 3-0 to a 3-2 pitch. Another foul.
Again, I just like the approach by Bartlett here. He doesn't look like he has any preconceived notion of what he's trying to do. He's just taking a baseball, whatever he's throwing him, trying to do something with it. The last two pitches he's gotten out over the plate, and it looks like he's just trying to take a shot at right field.
Up the middle, diving stop. Out at first, and Latos remains at third. Escobar had to leave his feet. Latos hesitated and does not score.
Well, again, that's when you have the pitcher running. That's a ball. You see that ball going up the middle, and everyday guy's going to go ahead and break and go to the plate on that. But because the pitcher is running, Latos kind of hesitated, decided to stay there. As you see Escobar laying out and making a nice play, getting the out at first, and Latos still standing at third.
And that skips by, and here comes Latos, who slides in safely. So a wild pitch, in a way, helps bail Latos and the Padres out there and makes it 3-1.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if he goes and finds Bartlett somewhere and says, hey, I should have scored on that ball, but he does read the wild pitch. And he does come in and slide, makes a nice slide. Score that third run.
It's nice to see for the Padres, because if he's stranded at third, you kind of feel like, left one out there.
Yeah.
Headley doubled his first time, and he's ahead in the count here, 3-0.
Padre hitters have been very patient thus far.
This will be the 50th pitch from Francis, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Brings up Ludwig. Homered his last time up, his first time up. And our Cold Hard Blast presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. It was the first pitch to Ludwig, his 10th home run of the year, made it 2-0. Our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Did not waste any time, got what he wanted, put a good swing on it. 2-0 Pods at the time.
Padres have that 2-run lead back as each team has scored a run in the third. Padres still batting, and with Hetley aboard, ball one to Ryan Ludwig. Check swing. Francis wanted an appeal. They do now ask. No swing according to Jerry Meals. Another one down low, 3-0.
Yeah, 2-0 and ahead, 2-0. Where you could be aggressive. Not what he was looking for. They might green light.
I was going to ask you.
They just might green light
here?
it. I would be. I think you're going to get something in the zone. You still got to have discipline.
Well, strike. Probably not a 3-0 pitch he was going to offer at anyway.
Little cutter.
Let's see what Ludwig gets here on 3-1. Headley at first, 2 outs. There goes Headley. And that's ripped, but it's got a lot of topspin on it. It'll stay in the yard. Bounce once off the track up against the fence. Here comes a throw to the plate and a perfectly executed relay. Pena hangs on, and Headley is out at the plate. Well, we've talked about the outfield assist for the Kansas City outfielders, and Alex Gordon just picked up his major league leading 13th. Headley colliding with Pena, who hangs on. By AT&T Wireless, who is the only player to have played for all 4 1969 expansion teams. Of course, 2 of those expansion teams are here tonight. We had Montreal and San Diego in the National League. The Royals in the American League with the team that started in Seattle. The old Seattle Pilots for 1 year, then they went to Milwaukee. By the way, that's the 16th time this year the Royals have thrown a runner out at the plate. And they perfectly executed that one.
I was going to say, you could understand why. That was perfect execution on that relay.
Mike Moustakas sends one right up the middle and into center, and he's 2 for 2.
Take a look at the relay. Gordon comes up with a perfect throw to Escobar, who makes a perfect in-the-air throw to Pena at the plate, who's blocking the plate. Headley's only chance is to try to steamroll him and roll him, knock him over, but Pena's able to get the ball in time to take the hit and hold on to the ball and show C.B. Buckner that he held on to it and get the play at the plate.
Can't execute any better than that.
Nope. With Headley having some shoulder issues, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, right.
Because that's going to be something he'll feel maybe an inning or 2 from now. You hope that he's okay.
And he collided with Pena now at the plate hitting for the Royals, Brian Pena. Headley kind of gave a tap to Pena after it was all over, as if to say, hey, just good hard baseball, and that's the way it went down.
Yep.
But it does make me think about the Buster Posey situation and all the talk that went around after that about should there be some rule changes or a rule change about these plays at the plate. Having to wait, Moustakas in a long way for Hudson. He goes into shallow right, spins and throws and gets Pena. Moustakis advances, but what a nice play by O'Dog.
Great play by O'Dog. He went ranges a long way, but the throw, being able to stay on balance and pick up that first baseman and make an accurate throw to Guzman. And you see, that's one of the reasons why he's won a few Gold Gloves is the range he's able to cover and being able to still deliver the throw on time in a good spot.
4 Gold Gloves for Orlando Hudson. The last coming in 2009 with the Dodgers. Breaking ball in the dirt to Escobar. He fly to right his first time up.
Going back to that play at the plate, the one thing Pena did a nice job of for him was he's able to get the ball. And you see he's got that left leg in front of the plate. Headley's got no choice but to, you can go around or you can go through. And I think as a catcher, you understand that. See, he's able to get the ball, absorb the hit, hold on to it, show the umpire that he's got it. But you see his positioning, where that left leg is. Headley's either got to go through him or go around him. He chose to go through him, and that's a clean play. And he patted him on the backside afterwards. I don't think there was any hard feelings by Pena. But, you know, when you put that protection on behind the plate, you got to know that, you know, there's plays at the plate. There's probably a good chance there's going to be some action. And when you stick that left leg in front of home plate, that's what you're asking for.
Left side, Headley looks the runner back. Throws on to retire Escobar, 2 outs. Well, with the timing of the throw to the plate, Pena had the ball.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of people have questioned or asking, should a catcher be allowed to block the plate without the ball?
Right. Well, in college you can't. You can't block the plate without the ball.
Cannot.
If the throw takes you in front of the plate, then that's different. But you cannot block the plate before you have the ball. In pro ball, you can block the plate. You can block it without the ball or with the ball. And again, let's take a look. You see where he is, see where the left leg is. It's on the foul side of that line. And when a catcher has his leg there, as a base runner, you only got 2 choices. You can go through him or go around him. Headley decided to go through him. And you can see as he was running to home plate, he had made up his mind where the catcher was setting up. He was going to go through him. And then after the play, pats him on the backside. Think any hard feelings? Pena knew what he was getting into by sticking that leg over there in front of the plate.
Well, it looked like Headley had the contact with the left shoulder on Pena, and it's the right shoulder that was the other issue. So hopefully he's a smart enough guy. He's going to lead with the shoulder that's not banged up.
I hope so.
Litos and the Padres trying to get out of this 4th. Moustakis at second with 2 outs, and the pitcher Francis at the plate. Strike on the outside corner with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. Francis hit one to the right side his first time up. They chase one there, and the tag by Johnson completes the strikeout. So a leadoff hit by Moustakis, and he's left on. We're at the midpoint of the 4th. 3-1 San Diego. A question for tonight. Our question: who's the only player to have played for all 4 1969 expansion franchises? And the answer is a gentleman who was on the club last year for the Padres, Matt Stairs.
Wow.
Who was with the Padres last year. He played for the Royals 04 to 06. In fact, with Kansas City, July 2nd of 2004, Matt Stairs as a Royal off Jay Watasic. But he also played for the Expos 92 to 93 and is now with the Nationals, which is that same franchise. And he played for the Brewers in 02, which were the expansion team that actually in 69 played 1 year in Seattle.
Yeah, it was also Matt Stairs that made that throw to hit Ken Harvey in the back.
That's right, yeah.
He was the one who hit Harvey in the back on the throw we saw earlier at the highlights.
Foul ball towards the middle. And Escobar. High throw, and air mailed it into the seats. And Guzman will take second. Just the 7th error of the season on Alcides Escobar.
It just looked like he rushed that. See the ground ball and watch him gets it. He takes that extra hop and thinks he has to hurry. He just overshoots Hosmer at first base.
Now Dan, our cameraman down there ducking.
Yeah, holding on for his life over there. Watch out.
They got Dan. Hey, Danny. It was over your head, yeah? You got to stay in there, my man. You're bailing out.
I hear you.
Yeah. Now, Dan has been hit, actually, this year. Look at Forsythe was trying to turn a double play. Where'd he hit you? Got you. Oh, on the guns. Got you. You're actually got hit in the leg. He just wants to show off his arms. Yeah. Cameron Maben grounded to short his first time. Well, was he out of the box? He was. Plate umpire C.B. Buckner. And this is the second time in, I think, about a week that Maben has been called out bunting with a ball that came up and hit him out of the batter's box.
You see, he has the leg kick and then tries to come out. And as he comes out of the batter's box, that ball bounces up and hits him. It hits him in his right leg.
Now, if he has the other foot down in the batter's box, he was out. It looked like that front leg was out as well. As long as he has 1 foot down in the batter's box, it's just a foul ball, but that'll go as a 2 unassisted putout.
There are a number of guys in the major leagues who employ that technique of the leg kick first, trying to trick the third baseman into thinking you're swinging and then going for that bunt. But, you know, when you don't square a bunt up right, there's a chance that that could happen. It could bounce up and hit you.
That's a foul tip into the mitt of Pena. It's kind of a fine line, I would guess, here, Tony. Yeah, you want the third baseman back, but you've got to be in position to actually execute and put the bunt down.
Yeah. And there's some guys who can really do that. I've seen guys have that leg kick and really sell it good.
Moustakas got the out now. That gets past, and Guzman will score. Great base running by Guzman, who waited for Moustakas to commit on the throw to first. Jesus then took off for third, and on the return back across the diamond from Hosmer, it got away. And Guzman scores for the Padres to make it 4-1.
Good old-fashioned smart base running by Guzman. See Moustakas go a long way to get this ball. Nobody's at second base, and so he takes off. And the throw's going to have to be perfect, and it wasn't. And Guzman pop-up slide back on his feet, crosses the plate. Looked like Hosmer threw a slider over there to third base.
The air charge to the Royals' first baseman is 6th for the season. So Guzman reached on a 2-base error by Escobar. scores on a throwing error from Hosmer. Strike to Johnson. Can't gift wrap a run much better than that. Yeah, a couple of errors.
And you'll take it.
Johnson, his first time up, grounded out to third. Padres with 4 runs on 4 hits. The Royals 1 run, 4 hits. And Francis tried to backdoor that curveball. Left side, the shortstop Escobar gets him by a step and a half. Padres get a run. It will be unearned. 2 Kansas City errors in the inning. And after 4, it's 4-1 Padres. Hang in there, Dave. Mid-game recap brought to you by Murray Lampert Construction. Home remodeling with no upfront design fees. Visit murraylampert.com and click on Request a Quote to schedule an in-home consultation. Mark Dealey with Tony Gwynn and our Channel 4 crew from Petco Park. On this Monday night, 4-1 Padres. Royals come up with the top of the order in the top of the 5th inning. Low to Melky Cabrera. Cabrera with a base hit his last time up and scored the Kansas City run in the 3rd. It's jammed, bounced to first, reaching down, snagged by Guzman, who takes it to the bag. 3 unassisted, 1 out.
It looks like Latos' rhythm is a little bit better now. Early in the game, he had a little bit of a bout with some control issues.
Walk back-to-back hitters, Hosmer and Gordon, with 2 outs in the 1st. They worked out of it.
A couple hits in the 3rd inning and worked out of that one. And now it looks like his rhythm is a little bit better.
Up high with the fastball, 2-0. Chris Getz has fly to center and singled to center. We'll give him a piece of right center. I think he's going to butcher boy it. Shortened up, pulled back, and takes a strike. 2-1.
Fastball in for a strike to level the count at 2-2. Johnson hung on to that. 4 strikeouts for Latos.
Pretty good breaking ball right there after a couple of fastballs up in the zone. Backs it up with a breaking ball down and in. Goes right over the top of that. Looked like he was hoping to foul that off to get something a little better, but he's unable to foul it off.
First pitch breaking ball from Latos. It is strike 1. 72 pitches. Hosmer takes a hack at that. Something off speed there.
Came out of his hand. It looked like a changeup, but probably more of a slider.
Hosmer stays alive. No official ABs yet for Hosmer in this game. He walked in the first on 4 pitches. Then in the third, a sac fly to left. His 26th RBI. Back-to-back Ks for Latos, who's now fan 5, and he sets the Royals down in order for the first time tonight. Hanging out in the sandbox on the beach here at Petco with a 3-run Padre lead. Bottom of the 5th, Latos leading off, takes a strike. We're with the Channel 4 home run inning presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. If a grand slam is hit this inning, you could earn huge cash. Enter at 4sd.com. We get a winner tonight. It's worth $34,000. Latos has doubled and scored. Oh, from Francis, 2-1. Padres have never trailed in this game thanks to a 2-run homer in the first from Ludwig. That's the fastball from Francis at 82, a pitch that used to be low 90s for him.
Yeah, high 80s, low 90s.
Uh-oh. And you took that in a bad spot.
Yeah, you can hear the scream all the way up here. C.B. Buckner giving him a minute by walking the ball out to Francis.
Trying to fight through it. C.B. Buckner will clean off what is already a very clean home plate just to buy a little more time.
And it works both ways. When it happens to the umpire, the catcher will do the same thing.
Latos, Denorfia, and Bartlett in the Padres' fifth. And he's still feeling that. The appeal, he got him. Strikeout of Latos. First of the game for Francis. Time for our leaderboard, brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal for a limited time only. Most hits allowed this season. This is Francis coming in at allowed 118. Pavano, a little surprised by Sabathia being up there on that list.
Carpenter, too.
Not surprised to see Levan Hernandez, who continues to pitch and pitch and pitch and pitch deep into games.
Well, the thing with Francis and Levan Hernandez, they're not overpowering guys, so you expect the ball to be put into play. And, CC Sabathia and Chris Carpenter are power pitchers, and that's kind of a surprising stat.
And Carpenter's not had a very good year, and the Cardinals, without Pujols and have been without Holiday a couple of different times, are starting to sink fast in that National League Central. Denorfia has flied to center and grounded to first. Lines that 3-1 pitch to straightaway center. Cabrera, it's over his head and off the base of the fence. Denorfia will stop at second with a 1-out double. Well, that was a missile to the base of the fence in center field.
Yeah, this ball is up in the zone and out over the plate. And Denorfia, short stroke. He hits it so hard, Melky can't even get back there to try to attempt to make a play. Bangs it off the wall in center field, and Padres putting together some really good at-bats tonight.
Yeah, that's a spot where Cabrera can go back and make a catch, but the ball got there so quickly.
Was out on top of him, nothing he could do about it. He tried to get back there, but the ball was just hit too hard.
Bartlett pulls it foul. Well, the Padres have 5 hits tonight. They've all gone for extra bases, no singles. This has been an offense that too many times has been saddled with a lot of hits that have only been for one base.
I'm one who contends lots of room out there. And this is a night so far where Ludwig hit the home run, and after that it's been nothing but doubles.
Bartlett to straightaway center. Cabrera tagging is Denorfia. The throw coming towards third, and Cabrera's throw just a hair offline and a little bit late. Cabrera has 8 outfield assists of his own, so taking a base on this Royals outfield has been no easy chore this year.
Melky does a great job. He times it, gets behind that ball, and catches it with momentum coming forward. The throw is just a little bit offline, but he does everything correct in the outfield, except throw the runner out. And I would suspect in this outfield, you got to just try to keep up. Francoeur has been known for years as having a great arm in right field and throwing guys out, and Alex Gordon's leading the majors in throwing guys out so far.
Yeah, there's Francoeur, who has 90 outfield assists since 2005, which is the most of any major league player in that span.
Again, his reputation precedes him, so anytime it's hard for him to throw guys out because they just don't challenge him. Where in Gordon's case, in left field, it's the complete opposite. He's playing a new position, and I'm sure the scouting report has been revised a little bit.
Yeah, the word's out now.
And hey, wait a minute. He's actually turned out to be a pretty good left fielder. And of course, Melky Cabrera not wanting to be left out. He's turning it up a notch, too, in center field.
Fouled back. So the Padres 5 hits, including a double from Headley in the first. All 5 have gone for extra bases. The most extra base hits the Padres have had in a game this year is 7. That was on April 10th against the Dodgers.
We were talking about Alex Gordon in left field. Ludwig has moved from right field to left field, and he's got a number of assists too.
He does. Leads the National League with 8 outfield assists.
So anytime you change position, or you don't make it look easy out there, teams are going to challenge you. They're going to test you.
Henley sends it in the air to right, and Frank Core in a few steps. The Padres straighten DeNorfia at third. Just the second man left on by San Diego. We have finished 5 at Petco Park, and it's a 3-run San Diego lead. You can get 2 tickets for the price of 1 in the right field upper reserve section at every Tuesday night home game with 2-for-1 Tuesdays presented by Coca-Cola. That's 2 tickets normally priced at $13.50 each for just $6.75 a ticket. Get your tickets online at Padres.com/2-for-1. Gordon off Guzman. It trickles into right where Hudson picks it up, and Gordon is on.
I'm going to say that'll be a base hit. That ball was toasted pretty good.
It is indeed a single for Alex Gordon, which gives him a 14-game hitting streak.
He's right on it. Guzman tries to get his body in front of it, but the ball's just hit too hard.
Rizzo with the lefty Francis on the mound tonight, getting the night off, and there's another perfectly executed hit and run, and where Gordon will go to third. Now Francoeur through the right side, and the Royals have first and third, nobody out.
I think that was a straight steal, and Francoeur turned it into a hit and run.
Yeah, watching Gordon around second base, he hesitated.
He had no idea where this ball was, and he looked to his right and saw that it was in right field, and that's why DeNorfia took a shot at trying to throw him out at third, because he didn't just keep on running around second base. He actually came to a complete stop.
So first and third, nobody out for Moustakas, who has singled up the middle twice. Ball one way high. Each time Moustakas has singled, it's been on a 2-0 pitch. And it's 2-0 once again. Lato's nearing 80 pitches. Had a lot of pitches early. Strike on the outer half.
Straukus ahead in the count there, 2-0. Decided this time he would take one.
Runner from first, Francoeur going. Throw down to second, safe. The ball out of the glove of Bartlett. And the lead runner, Gordon, holds at third. Francoeur gingerly getting up.
Matt Latos had the right play here to fake to third. But he threw it to first base, and Francoeur just never stopped. He kept running.
If Bartlett hangs on, I think he's still safe.
Yeah, I agree.
He had the left leg in. Went in a little awkwardly with that left leg and left knee. Watch the ball, though. Comes up. Hit Francoeur in the chest. And now Moustakas has the count at 3-1. By the way, Francoeur gets credit for his 12th steal. Tying run at the plate with nobody out for Kansas City in the 6th.
Latos going away with the fastball.
Three-2 from Latos. Got him. First base unoccupied, so Johnson has to throw to first to complete the strikeout. Looked like Moustakas went after what was going to be ball 4.
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit earlier. It's a little bit different hitting with guys in scoring because runners on base than with the bases empty. And with the bases empty 2 times tonight, he was hitting the count 2-0 and decided to swing and got base hits. This time 2-0. Decides to take one and really ends up striking out on Matt Latos' pitch instead of his pitch.
So instead of bases loaded, nobody out. Second and third, 1 out for the catcher, Brian Pena. Just outside with the fastball. Pena has flied to right and grounded to second. That is foul.
Rob Johnson right away knew that that was a foul ball, was asking for another ball. With Gordon at third, he wasn't sure, so he was coming and trying to score. And Francoeur, he wasn't sure at second, he was going to third.
That'd be an interesting way to try to deke runners.
Yeah.
Just ask the
umpire for another ball.
Well, the base hit could make it a 1-run game. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Pena. Fouled outside of first.
Here with Ducks on the pond, Latos making some good pitches with his breaking ball. Recognizing Kansas City hitters are willing to chase that ball out of the zone, so he's not throwing it for a strike, but still able to get strikes with it.
A 1-2 to Pena. Fastball, he tried to paint that inside corner.
But he went with the 2-seamer. And just didn't run back enough. He had him fooled. Ran back a little, but didn't run back enough to get that inside corner.
Two. Pena lines it. That's fair. Into the right field corner. Gordon and Francoeur score, and Pena into second with a 2-run double, and it's 4-3. Nineteenth and 20th RBIs for Brian Pena.
Well, I was talking about Latos throwing that curveball and not throwing it for a strike. And this time he throws it for a strike. And he goes down and gets it and lines it into the right field corner for a double.
And Pena, who's hit about 90 points higher with runners in scoring position than his overall average, comes through for the Royals. And Ernie Frieri up in the Padre bullpen. Breaking ball, strike one to Escobar. Alcides has flied to right and grounded to third. Just missed with that fastball numerous times tonight.
I don't think Latos is real happy with C.V. Buckner right now. I think he felt like that 1-2 pitch to Pena was a strike. Didn't get it. And ends up getting a double. There he tried to paint the inside corner with a fastball. Didn't get it. Back with a changeup there. It's out of the zone. And it's hard for pitchers because you're taught to try to keep your composure, not let the opponent see you get upset, and let the umpire see you get upset. A lot of guys hide it very well. Sometimes it's hard to.
It's a strike call there on the breaking ball. Three hits in the inning so far for Kansas City. Leadoff hits by Gordon and Francoeur, and they come in to score. Pitch up and fouled right side into the seats. Tying run in scoring position for the Royals.
Hey.
Nice.
You can bet he'll remember this game.
Inappropriately, his sister promptly took it away. Full count. You may never see that baseball again. Well, the full count on Escobar with the pitcher spot due up next, and Francis is in the on-deck circle. Getting high fives, but when's he going to get the baseball back? That's the domain of sister now. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball to right. Denorfia. Pena tagging. Throw coming to third. Oh. Well, Headley put the tag back on, and with that reapplication almost got Pena, who may have come off briefly.
Strong throw by Denorfia. Yeah, he catches it with some momentum coming forward, and
he got in.
He barely got there.
Yeah. Well, they're going to bat for Francis since the tying run is now at third with 2 outs. Francis has finished after 5 innings, and Billy Butler be the pinch hitter. Butler, primarily an everyday player, has had only a couple of pinch hit appearances this year and is 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. And slowly up the middle, Hudson, jump throw, got him! O-Dog saves a run with some spectacular defense. Backhanded the jump throw. The Royals do get 2, but O-Dog keeps it a 1-run lead. Hudson defensive play. We'll keep it a one-run game. We're doing more on defense. Brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And that was bueno.
Yeah, big league play right there. One ball left the bat. It looked like it was going up the middle for a base hit. Orlando Hudson with the backhand and the jump throw got just enough on it to get Billy Butler at first base and get the Padres out of that inning.
So they batted for Francis. And the Royals go to the pen and bring out Blake Wood.
3-0, good ERA, 2.45. And the thing about this Royals bullpen is most of these arms that you're going to see out of their bullpen are power arms, guys that are going to, get it up there in the mid-90s. So after facing a steady diet from Jeff Francis of, baseballs in the, 80s, high 80s sometimes, low 80s, change up, breaking balls now. Kind of got to turn it up a notch.
Right out of the chute, 96. Ludwig has hit a 2-run homer in the first, and he doubled in the third. 2 for 2 with a couple of extra base hits. Right back at 96 and on the outside corner. Blake Wood, 25 years old, played collegiately at Georgia Tech. He is from the Atlanta area.
Little slider.
Ludwig, then Guzman and Maben in the Padres 6th. 4-3 San Diego. Ludwig lays off the low slider, 2-2. On the inside corner, a slider gets Ludwig looking. One gone in the 6th. Former Royal pitcher Bud Black. Remember Bud as a Royal? Now, he started the George Brett Pinetar game at Yankee Stadium. Had the mustache as a Royal. Frank White is here, his former teammate. Frank does television for the Royals, and he said, we used to call Bud Mr. Freeze. Why? Mr. Freeze said, because he's always so cool.
Yep.
And that demeanor continues on for him as a manager. Always very level-headed.
Yeah, he was like that in college, too. Always composed. Knew what he was doing, knew how to pitch. Very smart.
Just foul past third. I don't know if Luke Gregerson saw some old footage or photos of Bud from his Royals days, but starting to go with the stash.
That's definitely the Bud Black mustache right there.
Hey, for those of you who didn't live through the 80s like us, that mustache on the left is a pretty common thing back then.
Absolutely.
Just off the outside corner from Wood. There you go. With the soul patch. Even something security. Down low to Guzman. Well, the difference in this game, an unearned run given to the Padres, and it was Guzman who reached on a two-base error by the shortstop Escobar and then scored on a throwing error with unearned run. Through the hole. Into left field, and Guzman singles with one out.
Nice job by Guzman. He laid off a couple of tough sliders. Then he got the fastball he's looking for, and it ran in a little bit on him, but he was right on it. Rounded into left field for a base hit.
Here's Maben, who tried to bunt his way on last time and had the ball come up and hit him after he had left the batter's box, and also was grounded out. Ball one outside at 97 miles per hour. Check on Guzman. High fly left center. Melky Cabrera under it. 2 outs. Do you ever face Tom Niedenfuhr? I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Does Blake Wood remind you at all of Tom Niedenfuhr?
And his delivery is a lot like Niedenfuhr's. You can see as he goes into the glove. Comes out with the split finger grip, and then he comes set. So you've got that split finger grip, and he comes set. And we'll go from that to whatever he wants to throw, or throw the split finger. We've pretty much seen all cheddar tonight, 96, 97 miles an hour.
As you said, Tony, that's not the only live arm out of the Royals bullpen. They got some hard throwers down there.
Yeah, they do.
Check swing, and Hudson takes high. How many times would you see a reliever come in the 6th inning of a game throwing 96, 97?
Zero. None. None. I'm one of these old. I'm one of the old guys that said the game has evolved. It's not the same game I played. If you saw a guy throwing 96, 97 miles per hour, most of the time it was the closer. You know, every now and then it was the starter. But in my era, the game was in the low 90s most of the time.
Foul left side. Could you sense, though, that guys were throwing harder in general the later you got on in your career?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could. You could. And, you know, you face young guys like Doc Gooden or, bowlers in Atlanta, young Randy Johnson, guys that, the game started to evolve, guys started to get more velocity.
And he strikes out Orlando Hudson to end the inning. A couple of Ks for Blake Wood in his first frame. We finished 6 at Petco. It's a 1-run lead for the Padres. Subway. Come in today for Subway's Orchard Chicken Salad Sandwich featuring tender chicken, apples, and cranberries. All this flavor comes to you with less than 8 grams of fat. Get it before it's gone. Subway, eat fresh. Double switch for the Padres. Latos is out. And the first order of business is the new pitcher, reliever Ernesto Frieri.
And you see the numbers 1 and 2, 3.08 ERA. Coming in here in the 7th inning, he's going to get the top of the lineup for Kansas City. And gets the third of an inning against the Braves on Saturday.
Anthony Rizzo takes over at first base. So Rizzo batting in the 9 spot, vacated by Latos, and Frieri, the pitcher's in the 5 hole, which was occupied by the starting first baseman Guzman. It is indeed the top of the order, and Melky Cabrera leading off. Cabrera singled and scored in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. He takes a little bit low. This is the last home interleague series for the Padres. Everybody else playing interleague with one exception. The 2 National League teams squaring off the Cubs and Rockies today. Cubs won that 7-3 over Colorado. One, 2 down and away. Speaking of Colorado, the Rockies were at Yankee Stadium for interleague play this weekend, and shortstop Troy Tulowitzki had a very interesting at bat and swing in that Yankee series, where he actually swung at a pitch and hit the ball twice. And when I say that, it wasn't swing and then on the backswing hit it again. It was ball hit the barrel of the bat and actually moved up the barrel, and he hit it again and took it into left field. One of the craziest things I've never seen anything like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Foul pass, 3rd.
Normally on a swing like the one Tulowitzki took, the bat would break, but didn't look like it yesterday that his bat broke.
Here's the 2-2 from Frieri. And another foul. Yeah, it was truly remarkable when it was happening live. I heard a copy of the Yankee broadcast on their Yes Network, and Michael Kay, their announcer, thought it was a broken bat because of the way it sounded where the ball hit the bat twice. Got a golf towards short, and that's caught by Jason Bartlett for the first out. Let's look. If you haven't seen this, let's let you take a look. Our freeze camp brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. From the side, now you'll watch this in slow motion. Really tough to tell until you watch it in slow mo. Watch it hit the bat and then literally move up the barrel. That's insane.
Oh, man, that's a bad hack right there, but he's still got a base hit on it, and that's the beauty of baseball. Is that you can take a hack like that, get beat, if you can show that again. When it makes contact, when the ball makes contact with the bat, watch how the bat gives, it bends. And then as it rolls down the barrel of the bat, watch how the barrel bends at contact. See how it bends? And then he just flips it out there. So as it's going to left field, I guarantee you that ball was like inside out and like a card carved in the left field.
To left field, Ludwig sees it sail in the first row. So I didn't notice that before. Very observant, and I understand why Tony would see that, being who he is. But so I guess the bat did break.
I think it did. I mean, look, you see the barrel go forward.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes forward enough so that the end of the barrel hits the baseball and it flips it out into left field. But
well, that's the only logical explanation. And I'm glad you caught that.
I think that was off CC too. CC Sabathia.
Yep.
And it probably was a cutter, something coming in on him, and right at contact you could see that barrel come forward. But I'd never seen anybody hit it twice.
Towards the middle, and Hudson scoops it up and throws out Getz, who runs well. If you'd show that to me, and I didn't notice that the bat had broken, I would say, would you take that to DreamWorks in L.A. and have some kind of video work done on it? That's impossible.
Well, one thing about that super slow-mo camera is it enables you to see, especially on good swings. When guys take good swings and square the baseball up, when you watch it on super slow, there's a little bit of give. You see the bat's got a little bit of flex in it. But he made contact right at the label on that Tulowitzki swing.
That's a broken bat. Well, I'm glad you cleared that up, Tony, because I've been losing sleep over that last night. How could a baseball do that? And you answered it, the bat broke.
I think it did. I mean, if we had sound, Michael K talked about it had a different sound. But most bats, when you hit a baseball near the label, near the trademark, that's what's going to happen. It's going to break most of the time.
94 miles per hour from Frieri down low. 2 balls and a strike to Hosmer, who's driven in a run with a sac fly. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Hosmer sends it down the left field side. That's fair and into the corner. On his way to second, picked up on the track by Ludwig. And it's a 2-out double for Eric Hosmer.
Well, that's why right there you think Hosmer is going to be a really good hitter. 2-1 count. Can be a little aggressive. This ball's on the outer third, and he just goes right with it. Nice job. Just goes right with it and slaps it down the third base line or left field line. Just an easy double the other way, and that's good hitting. Guy capable of hitting the ball out of the ballpark. He's not going to mess around on the inner half. He goes the other way.
The dangerous Alex Gordon gets under one. A high fly to right. Denorfia retreats. Well, that ball still carried pretty well. But Gordon did get under it to retire the side. Coming up, it's the San Diego Hyundai Dealers 7th inning stretch. Get more MPG, more value, and double the warranty. Shop online at SanDiegoHyundaiDealers.com. Auto loan rates as low as 2.98% for 72 months. Call them today, 877-495-1600. Into the home half of the 7th. Padres have 4 runs on 6 hits. The Royals 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. This has led to an unearned Padre run, which is the difference. 8-9-1 for San Diego. Johnson, Rizzo to bat for the first time tonight, and Denorfia. Hard throwing Blake Wood back to the mound and showing bunt. Johnson takes ball 1. Rob is grounded to third and grounded to short. Padres and Royals in the opener of this series tomorrow. You get a Clayton Richard, Felipe Paulino matchup. The Honda Dealer pregame show on the air at 6:30. Trying to catch up to that high 95-mile-per-hour fastball is a tough chore.
Yeah, he was late. He was late on that.
He holds up on the slider, 2-2. That fastball slider combo, a pretty effective one for Wood.
Yeah, well, you know, we've been calling that a slider. I wonder if that's his split finger.
It very well may be, right?
Because, you know, he goes to that grip every time, and maybe that what we're calling a slider is his split.
That looked like one there, wasn't it?
And it's a hard split. 80, if it is 88 miles an hour, that's pretty good. See if we could catch it right at the end.
See if we can sneak a peek. That wasn't the split grip there.
Fastball.
Three and 2 on Johnson, beginning the Padres 7th.
Looks like another fastball.
And a high fly to right center for Jeff Francoeur. The Sky Camp shot brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com. Anthony Rizzo came in as part of a double switch in the top of the inning, so he bats for the first time tonight. We saw the catcher Pena set up away. The pitch was over the plate but down, and ball 1 to Rizzo.
That's one of those things they do when you see he's checking to see if he's peeking. You feel like you have a feel for what they're doing back there. They'll wait till the last second to get into position.
Infielders playing him to pull. The third baseman Moustakas way off the line. Shortstop Escobar, you see, almost behind the bag at second.
And the outfielder playing him straight. And the infield playing him to pull.
Strike on the outside part with that slider split. Whichever one it is. You can see the grip on it, but it's a 2-2 count.
So this is one of those defenses that is definitely influenced by the scouting report, because you know they're pitching him as if he was going to hit the ball to left field. The infield's playing him to pull like he's going to take a ball maybe that's out there and hook it to the pull side. Now the infielders are over towards the pull side, and the outfielders are playing him straight.
It's going to reach the third deck. Padres scored 2 in the first on a Ludwig homer. Each team scored a run in the third. Royals with 2 in the sixth, a 1-run game in the seventh. Right side softly, and Hosmer will take it himself. That's out number 2.
Hosmer had to reach for the bag again. He got over there and reached for it once and then reached for it again and was able to get it. Yeah, he calls off Wood and goes to reach for it and comes up short and then has to slide his foot in there to get the inside corner. It looked like he almost hurt himself.
Yeah, clutched his hammy there. Two outs, nobody on for the top of the order for San Diego, and right fielder Chris DeNorfia. He rips it right side and through. Second hit for DeNorfia, who had doubled his last time up. This time a 2-out single.
Chris has really come into his own here, I think. He's become a really good, really solid hitter here with a game plan. He said, I'm just going to take this fastball and go the other way with it. 97 miles an hour. It was a nice job hitting the hole.
2 for 4 tonight. He's up there at the 300 mark.
He's a threat to steal a base here, too.
And right away, a throw over. Dino is 6 for 11 in steal attempts. Leaning, but back on a close play. So it looks like he's got swiping a bag with 2 outs on his mind.
Blake Wood feels the same way. That's a smart thing. If you're Wood, throw over there a couple times, try to tire him out a little bit, make him a little bit anxious. Hold the ball.
Fouled off the mask of Pena. Ryan Pena, the Royals catcher. A Cuban defector. Came over on a small boat in 2004. Left his family behind. His family, though, has been relocated to the Miami area. Pitch out. Northfield was not running. 1-1. Pena defected. He was playing for Cuba's 17 and under national team. They were in Venezuela in the spring of '99. And was able to defect. That's foul. He and Yuniel Escobar are very close. Escobar is the one that actually defected in a small boat in 2004. Pena defected in Venezuela in '99. Well, it seems like there was a few of those guys that would defect, but we have not heard much about Cuban defectors in a few years.
Yeah. Well, we know they're still playing baseball. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh. Just missing and a 2-2 count. Levon Hernandez came over. El Duque. It was a steady stream for a while.
Lately, Chapman with the Reds. He defected.
Getting the right hand in.
People talk about the popularity of baseball might be declining. I don't see it that way. I see more kids playing the game, a lot more. They might not play it on the fields as often. A lot of kids think playing it on the video game version, that's a way of playing it. But in this game, if you want to get to this level, you got to play it. You got to go out and go to your park, go to your schools, take your friends out with you and go out and play the game. That's how you get better at it.
Which is why more and more Latin players continue to make their way to the major leagues. A higher percentage all the time. There goes Dino, and a foul rocketed down the first base side. Golf towards right, but the second baseman has time to get up and make the catch. A hit by Tenorfia. He's left on. Padres have stranded 4. It's 4-3 after 7. As your Padres and Giants hit the field at 5:35, and all fans in attendance can cheer on your Padres with a Padres Rally Pom-Poms. And don't wait, get your tickets today at Padres.com. 4-3 San Diego as we head into inning number 8. That means it's time for Mike Adams.
The number's still very good. He pitched an inning yesterday and had a little bit of everything. Gave up a hit, walked a guy, had a strikeout, gave up an unearned run. It didn't look good. And he ended up getting a win yesterday. So hoping he could get back on track here.
Francoeur, the right fielder, leads off. Then Moustakas and Pena. 5, 6, and 7 part of the order for Kansas City. Francoeur has singled in 3 at-bats. The base hit came his last time up. He gets jammed and fouls it back. Came in on him.
Yeah, that ball just ran in on him, and he tried to get the barrel there, but he was not able to get it there.
That time he has a slider moving away from him that hits off the end of the bat.
Francoeur is sneaky, though. He kind of reminds me in a sense of Vladimir Guerrero in that, he hits good pitches. You can throw a ball ankle high and he'll stay inside of it and hit it to right field. So just because you make a good pitch, you put it in a good spot, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get him out.
Strike 3, says C.B. Buckner. Francoeur called out on strikes, so he's close to a swinging strikeout, but he held up.
Johnson wanted that ball more inside, but it still caught a whole lot of the plate. And when Mike is on, that's what he does. His stuff moves an awful lot, and even when he doesn't hit his location, he still has enough to get people out.
Third baseman Mike Moustakas is 2 out of 3. He had hits his first 2 times up. That's a strike. I thought that was going to be an instance of where Johnson had to bring the glove over and wasn't going to get the strike call.
Normally you don't. But again, getting a lot of the plate.
Out of play left side. Hey, want to congratulate Padres' first-round pick from this year, Corey Spangenberg. He was named the Northwest League Player of the Week today. 394 last week. Nice slugging percentage, had a home run, 11 RBIs, also had 3 steals.
Off to a pretty good start.
Yes, playing with Eugene in the Northwest League. He was the first guy to sign and said he wanted to get to his pro career. He was off to a pretty good start.
He was anxious to get started, and now he's on his way to showing people what he can do.
Did you ever get a Northwest League Player of the Week in Walla Walla that year? It's a short season.
Yeah, that's where I started. It wasn't Eugene, it was Walla Walla, and I'm not sure if I did or not. I know I won a batting title in that league.
To right center field, Denorfia coming in and makes the catch in front of the sliding Cameron Maben behind him.
Well, Denorfia knew he had this ball early on and gave Maben a hand signal. I don't know if he saw it. Let him know that he had it. Watch him stick his hand out, letting Maben know I got it, but Cameron never looked. He's focusing in on the ball. See that little hop? That's to get out of the way of Cameron Maben.
Pena taking all the way, and it's a strike. 0-1. And you doubled in a couple of runs his last time up. Right side slowly. Hudson makes the flip with the glove and gets the out at first. Orlando never made the exchange. He just flipped it right out of the mitt. Adams has a 3-up, 3-down inning. The San Diego Toyota dealers, we've got what it takes. Both these teams came into existence in 1969. Here are their total number of wins coming into tonight. The Royals have the higher win count. Folks, you remember the late 70s, you're going to recall the Kansas City Royals had about as good an organization as there was at that time.
Yep. Kansas City Royals do have a world championship.
Won it in 1985, lost in the series in 1980 to the Phillies. Greg Holland, the new pitcher.
See the numbers, good numbers again. A lot of young arms down there in this Kansas City bullpen, but you see the numbers. 2-1, 1.08 ERA. Pitched an inning with the Cubs on Saturday. Ended up getting a win. Had a 1-2-3 inning.
Headley leading off and takes a 94-mile-per-hour fastball low. 2 scoreless innings for Blake Wood out of the Royals pen tonight. Chase doubled and scored in the first. Walked in the third, was thrown out at the plate. Trying to score from second base on a double by Ludwig. It took a perfect relay from the left fielder Gordon to the shortstop Escobar to the catcher Pena to get him, but the Royals executed.
A slider there. 94-mile-per-hour fastball. They backed that up with a overhand curveball, and then there, 1-1, threw him a little slider.
One in the dirt, 2-2.
Again, I said slider, but it might be split finger. That's what it looked like, the grip he had in his glove. Again, these Kansas City Royals got some power arms down there, and power arms, sometimes that split finger works just like a slider.
Wide over the third baseman, Moustakas. Gordon cuts it off quickly in the corner and will limit Headley to a leadoff single.
Yeah, nice hitting by Chase. Looks like a fastball out over the plate. He caught too much of the plate from where Pena was setting up. Lines it right over Moustakas' head at third base. Padres with a base runner.
Good night for Luddy. 2-run homer in the first. He doubled in the third. Strike one on the outside corner. Padres will have at least a 1-run lead to take to the ninth for Heath Bell. Be nice to add at least another one here. High fly to right, and Francoeur drifting towards the line to make the catch. 1 out. This is the pitcher's spot. Due up, so Venable will bat for Adams.
Headley at first base. He's 8 of 9 stealing bases, and so it wouldn't surprise me if he tried to get himself in a scoring position here.
Will 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter this year. One on, 1 out. 4-3 Padres, bottom of the 8th. Looking ahead to the Royals' ninth. They have 8, 9, and 1 due up. Which is Escobar, the pitcher's spot, and they've already used Billy Butler and Cabrera. .2-0 from Greg Holland on the way. Outside, 3-0. Greg Holland, 25-year-old, played his college ball at Western Carolina University. You get extra bonus points if you know where Western Carolina is. Runner
I do.
Takes off. That's high.
Can't pronounce Cullowhee.
You're right.
Yeah, we played there this year. That's why I knew that.
Cullowhee, North Carolina. Though I know there's somebody out there that was thinking that there was a 51st state called Western Carolina. Well, the walk to Venable, and it's 2 on, 1 out. Stay tuned after the game for the Sequan Casino postgame show from the Channel 4 studios. Tonight, Virginia Kavnar and Bob Scanlon. Maben 0 for 3. Fly to center his last time. He's also been retired bunting and grounded to short his first time. That seemed to cross up Pena.
Little mix up right there. He's looking for the fastball. Threw him a breaking ball instead. He's setting up, ready to catch that ball one way, and had to turn that glove around. He tried to catch it another.
Looked like he was expecting fastball and was able to adjust and catch the breaking ball. Now the Royals pitching coach Bob McClure visits. So will Western Carolina University be making a return trip to San Diego?
They will be next year, as a matter of fact. Yeah, they're going to come out and play in our tournament.
You guys don't have any trouble filling those spots, do you?
Actually, in today's college game, yeah, because it's not just a vacation spot for other teams anymore. They know that they need to come out and win games. So you got to try to be creative out here.
Padres would love to add some insurance here in the 8th. 1-1 to Maben. Looked like Cam was sitting fastball and got the slider.
A lot of times in these situations, you can't go wrong looking to try to hit the ball the other way. Runners in scoring position, that's going to keep you on all the breaking balls.
Well, and Holland able to bounce back and fan Maben. 2 outs.
A lot of times in that situation, runner in scoring position, they're not going to give in and throw you that fastball. And there, 1-1, he threw back-to-back sliders. And had Maben out in front.
Hodog 0 for 3 with the bat. He's made a couple of very nice defensive plays at second tonight. His first pitch swinging and fouled back.
One play on a ground ball Billy Butler hit. He doesn't make that play, we'd be sitting tied right now. That was an outstanding play to end the inning and get the Padres. Royals had scored twice already. Get them out of the inning still with the lead.
First time up for Orlando tonight in the second. He had a deep drive to center that Cabrera caught up against the fence. Did he get crossed up there again? Guess not. He turned that glove.
Take a look at, he didn't catch it like he had his glove. Seemed dropped to a knee like he was thinking it was going to be maybe a breaking ball down. He dropped to his knee and caught that ball with palm up.
96-mile-per-hour fastball up and away. 2-1. Well, we've seen Holland out of the bullpen. So Wood. These guys are throwing mid to upper 90s, and it's not max effort.
No.
We appeal, and he did go, according to Dale Scott.
Again, that's kind of how the game has evolved, is that these guys are throwing so hard now with less effort. See, Orlando tried to hold his swing, but couldn't. It would take a lot of effort for these guys to get that velocity up there in the mid-90s, high 90s.
2 on, 2 outs, and a 2-2 pitch. We got him to chase that one. Well, Holland fans Maben and Hudson to win the threat. The Padres strand 2 and have left a half dozen. Heath will come on with a save opportunity. Escobar, a pinch hitter, and Cabrera due up. Wherever you go this season, subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Padre game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Padres.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Padres lead the Royals 4-3. Kansas City comes up in the top of the ninth to face the Padre closer Heath Bell.
And he's going after his 21st save. Pitched in yesterday's game, had a perfect inning. Coming into tonight's game, you've got the 8-9-1 spots here in the Kansas City order.
And City's Escobar, the shortstop, leading off. He's flied to right twice and grounded to third. Fastball at 93, still rank one on the outer half. Pitcher's spot due up next, and Gerard Dyson is coming to the on-deck circle. Goes to the curve, 0-2.
A break on that breaking ball there to Escobar. Way out in front.
Up the line. That is just foul. That ball checked up that last hop. Almost bounced back fair.
It really did. Check out the last bounce. That ball kicked back to the left just a hair.
Heath Bell 20 of 21 in save opportunities this year. I think Heath mad at himself there that he wanted that pitch up even higher.
Yeah, Johnson wanted that ball up. He came up out of his crouch. Bell didn't go high enough.
He shook off his side. Now here comes the 0-2. Fastball fouled off. Escobar came in hitting .419 in his last 18 games, bumping his average up into the 250s. Escobar leading off the Kansas City ninth. To the curve in the dirt. That was the sixth pitch for Heath, and the first one that was not a strike. Curve grounded to third, charged by Headley, and from the grass throws him out. Gerard Dyson will be the pinch hitter. He's a lefty, and this guy can absolutely fly.
Rob Johnson behind the plate, letting his infielders know, hey, he can really run, showing the universal fingers doing the walking signal. So Headley's up at third at the corner. Rizzo at first is on the cutout. Got to make him put the bat on the ball, make him put it in play.
Goes around on the curve, 0-2.
That's why pinch hitting for these young hitters is so difficult, because you're standing there in the box and you think you're going to get something over the plate, and pitchers, if you don't, as you saw right there, they know they're looking for something to hit, and pitchers take advantage of that, and sometimes you don't even have to throw them a strike. Bounced the breaking ball there, 0-2, threw him a high fastball up in the zone. Look where this ball is. And Dyson's got no chance of hitting that, but he's so anxious to try to put the ball in play. And Heath Bell just takes advantage of that and just throws it right by him.
That's the 0-2 pitch that he wanted to throw to Escobar earlier. Top of the order in Cabrera. First pitch outside. Milkman 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored back in the third. Medley plays onto the grass. Up and away, 2-0, a 94 mile per hour fastball.
He's got a little bit of pop too, so you can't just lay one in there.
9 home runs. And he floats one into right. That's down for a base hit. And a wide turn. He's watching Venable, who's now in right field. Venable in right. Denorfia has moved from right to left. Well, the Royals had the tying run on for second baseman Chris Getz. By the way, the split patch you see, I've been meaning to say something all night. Former Royals pitcher Paul Splittorff, who unfortunately passed away just a few weeks back, a Royals Hall of Famer. He's also a broadcaster after his playing days. Recently passed away after a battle with cancer, and that is the patch they have put on the Royals uniforms for Paul Splittorff. It's the high strike on the fastball, 0-1.
This is a guy you definitely like to get out here with Hosmer on deck. You don't want to mess around with him.
Curve in the dirt and blocked well by Johnson. That's an important play, and they don't want to get that tying run down to second.
Also, that's Heath Bell showing a lot of confidence in Johnson that if he throws him that breaking ball that he can block it. Did a nice job blocking that ball and keeping it in front.
Ritos started tonight. He went the first 6. Curve, did he? Heath pointed like he wanted the appeal, but it's not granted, not requested, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Kansas City has 9 hits. In fact, the top 7 in their order each have at least 1 hit. And that fastball high, 3-1. And you got the lefty Eric Hosmer on deck. He's retired the first 2, Escobar and the pinch hitter Dyson. And base hit by Cabrera, and now gets the count in his favor at 3-1. He steps off. Royals actually out hitting the Padres now 9-8. Make it 10-8. Base hit to center. Cabrera the tying run down to second. Second hit of the night for Chris Getz, and it's 2 on, 2 outs.
Nice hitting by Getz. Didn't try to do too much. Hitting the count, looking for a fastball, gets it, lines it right back up the middle. Short stroke.
He took a stab at that liner as it went past him. There's the rookie Eric Hosmer, who tonight walked in the first, drove in a run with a sac fly in the third, fanned in the 5th, but doubled down the left field side in the 7th his last time up. First pitch curve blocked by Johnson. Cabrera, the tying run at second, gets the go-ahead run at first. $23,635 paid on this Monday night at Petco, and feeling a little bit nervous. One 1-0 to Hosmer. Curveball right side. He's got to get over. He does. The put out ends it. Rizzo to Bell. 4-3 San Diego, the final. Well, the Royals made it interesting with a couple of two-out base hits in the ninth. But Heath Bell records his 21st save, and the Padres take game one of this three-game series, winning it tonight 4-3. So the rookie Hosmer rolls out to the right side. Heater showing some speed getting over to first. We'll be back to wrap it up.